artificial intelligence, Elton John, the soul inside you, equity, personality rights.
Nigel.cecil, calling things out as you like it, especially for his fair-minded friends.
Hello, Chakabatis, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Moi, Nigel.cecil, regular viewers will know, invariably assisted by my very good friend Hilary, responding to your comments, views, observations and questions sent in to us to this email address. Regular viewers will realise that this video is the follow-on from the last one. Double Dutch creativity again, isn't it, Hilary? Because, of course, it is the follow-on from the last one. And I'm digressing again, and I'm not allowed to digress, am I, Hilary, with these? Because this is about artificial intelligence putting lots of creatives, possibly, out of work, ripping us off, data scraping. Now, the last video, we actually mentioned about synthesizers and how this particular get-together of ne'er-do-wells, as they might say, using synthesizers, had this little ditty. It happened then, it happened then. Why did it happen then to me? You see, back in the day, the Musicians' Union were fearful, understandably in some ways, about synthesizers putting other musicians out of work, and they had a closed shop agreement in those days. So, synthesizers, those who played them weren't allowed to join the MUs for this particular piece of music. No, you couldn't play it on television because you were putting other musicians out of work. And then he got ripped off by a game organisation, something about Commodore, was it, Hilary? And then Zombie Nation, and who could do anything about it? What about synthesizers now? Have they taken over the world? No, musicians have still got plenty of work. So there's always fear about new technology. Now, we discussed that in the last video, and we were hopefully, in this video, going to explain how Elton John getting angry. We can understand why Elton was getting angry, but they highlighted soul. Soul, the soul inside of you. That's what creativity is all about, isn't it? So when we think about it, we'll move on. We were going to give that idea, but some of you have said, Nigel, you need to explain it more, well, explicitly. Soul, equity, the trade union for professional actors, variety, entertainers and other creatives across the United Kingdom have got this, well, stop AI stealing the show. And we said, what show, which show, where, what's the show all about? Each show is different, each show is unique. And then Equity published this about an MP, James Nash MP, talking about supporting Equity's principle of personality rights. And you said, Nigel, what's this about personality rights? What is personality? Well, when you look at it and putting it in statute law to protect creatives, what will it do? Well, think about it, personality rights. So we did the tippy-tappy bit and had a look. And of course, we try our best to verify all our information, but there's only Hilary and Wow, so please check things yourself. But we came across the fact that South Africa has had personality rights in their statute law for decades. Have a look at them, see what they cover. Do they actually protect creatives? Because when you say personality, everyone has to be equal, so the law is designed to look after everyone. And personality, well, is that a character? Is personality, character, and identity one and the same or different? And once you start looking at it, you see, my identity now, well, when I was a little boy, yes, we were once. I mean, it's impossible, you see. Younger people look at older people and say, we can't imagine them being young. But you see, over the years, well, apart from your fingerprints and things like that and your date of birth, your personality and character changes. I mean, just think, if we're talking about personality and character and how we develop something, back in the day, in school, I played Falstaff from Henry IV, Part 1. We'll put the picture on the screen. Yes, that's moi in the middle. Now, as a teenager, how did I come up with the idea of how to play Falstaff? Well, I looked at the performance by Sir Ralph Richardson, because they were acclaimed as a Falstaff. So I went on stage and everyone said, well, Nigel, as you were then, you were very good. But it was my interpretation of Sir Ralph Richardson. I mean, not that I was any good, but what happens if I had become a star? And I had become a celebrity for playing at the National, the Royal Shakespeare Theatre Company. And everyone says, well, of course, now Nigel is, well, Sir E. McKellen. They have that part, they own it. So does celebrity status mean that I can now claim the rights to that creativity? Personality rights? No. Think about it. So how do I copyright that? What do I do? Indeed, when you think about it, what does anyone do? I mean, Prince William, Princess Kate, Simon Watkinson and Heidi Aggon are known as, well, they're impersonators. Some would say that Simon looks more like Prince William than Prince William. Are they ripping off royalty? Do you not think that if politicians could stop anyone doing memes of Donald Trump or Keir Starmer and having them dancing to this music, that music, and doing all sorts of things by artificial intelligence, they wouldn't stop them? They would, wouldn't they? Because we don't want it happening. And then, of course, when you think of Martin Lewis, Money Saver Supermarket, Martin Lewis, I think we've got the combination right there. But, you know, Martin Lewis took Facebook to court, and it took them ages, though. Lots of money. And that wasn't the actual person putting forward the advert. It was because Facebook were promoting it. That's one case, one show, where, there, at that time. So SAG-AFTRA now have got the case about Darth Vader, a voice of someone who's dead, being recreated by artificial intelligence. So, come on. I mean, I've got my Bart Simpson tie on. What happens if I can do a voice from Bart Simpson? Am I ripping them off, or am I an impersonator, a tribute act? Tribute acts? Well, if someone can say I'm a tribute act, why can't artificial intelligence suddenly create and say, well, I'm a tribute act as well? We scraped everything. And of course, as Elton John said, it's the young person who's now not known, who's putting things on the internet, who's doing, well, self-tapes to send to a producer, and the producer might rip a little bit off because they're now going to do a program generated by artificial intelligence. Where does it stop? We mentioned that the AI horse has already bolted the stable. So if I'm a celebrity, you see, and this is what Elton John is highlighting, I've got the overarching claim to say, that is me. You are ripping me off. But the young person, well, they may be doing something in their youth which is a marvelous creation, but nobody recognizes as it being originated by them, just like Electronic Ensemble, and it happened then because they didn't have celebrity status. So it's ripping them off. But there again, you see, what about older people? Have we got that picture of moi? Yes, years ago, because I met someone who said, you know, it's taken me 25 years to be an overnight success. And that was, many of you won't recall them, but when we get to our age we do, Larry Grayson. Larry Grayson, 25 years to be an overnight success. It's that celebrity status that didn't give them the ability to say, that is why, indeed, Nigel.Cecil. If I go on, when I did my full-on Nigel.Cecil chakabutties, I was a cross between Christopher Biggins, Giles Brandreth, and Kenny Everett. Nigel.Cecil, all meant in the best possible taste. So is Nigel.Cecil being Nigel.Cecil moi? Or have I actually data scraped from everyone else? So how are you going to stop artificial intelligence? Will it put creatives out of work, whatever aspect of creativity they are doing? Will personality rights address the issue? We don't think it will it, Hilary? Because there's so many different combinations. But it comes back to ELTON JOHN. Machines don't have soul. And it's that soul that matters, that when we watch something, when we see something, when we experience something, has it got soul that we, as living individuals live, can relate to? Now, hopefully, we've explained things enough, so the next video we'll be coming up with in discussion with you, our solution. Now, it might not work, but everyone at the moment seems to be saying we want to control copyright. I mean, come on, the other quickie about controlling copyright. What about Keir Starmer and the government? They want turbocharged artificial intelligence. Have you read the report from the Department of whatever it is, business? They even want to give free access to the data, the information, the culture held by the British Museum. They're setting up a new organisation, a new quango, to ensure that all the information is free. Because, of course, if you want yes, I'm live. Artificial intelligence would have got rid of my turbo being turbo. But if you want turbo artificial intelligence, creatives asking for the rights to protect their creativity. When you've got these organizations saying we want to encourage growth by protecting rights, the politicians are going to say, no, we don't encourage growth by protecting rights, especially when those rights only belong to you as one person, because we as creatives are all just one. We are one, we're individuals. One show, where, what, unique. So we have to think of a way of saying, well, we'll embrace the culture and we'll make sure that creativity is known as soul. So personality rights, soul. Please join us for what we think might be the last one on this to put forward our idea. And it's only to stimulate discussion. But the thought that, well, Darth Vader, and the voice being ripped off. I mean, I can do another voice. Am I ripping them off? I can do this personality. I'm a tribute act. I'm doing this. How is it going to be stopped? Will it be a case again of synthesizers putting everyone out of work? But they didn't. It's just a case of, developing an overarching look at what artificial intelligence is all about. And thinking about, we need to show that creatives have soul. And it's soul, that live ambience with everything we do, that make us unique, that set us aside from artificial intelligence. Please join me for what we hope may be the third and final one of this. And so until the next time, keep your thoughts coming in. And to each and every one, good art, good work, and in showbiz, better keep your fingers crossed. Especially nowadays, professional solidarity, creativity to all of us.
Please hit the subscribe button and join us again, because together every viewer helps. Thank you.
If you're not already a member, join Equity, the trade union for professional actors, variety entertainers and other creatives across the United Kingdom.